Get ready to go wild with the Safari Adventure Travel Album. I'm Charee Filimoehala here at the Graphic 45 office, and I am excited to teach you how to take our travel album base. It comes in black and craft. I'm excited to take that base and turn it into this stunning masterpiece full of fun DIY pockets, tabs, belly bands, and lots of interactive details. So all you're going to need is to pick up the Graphic 45 kit. You can do that by hopping over to g45papers.com, or you can create your own travel base or pick up one of ours and then grab your papers, and you can decorate along with us with any paper collection that you have in your stash. But we are using the fabulous Safari Adventure Deluxe Collector's Edition. And along with this travel album from our scraps, we are going to be creating this super cute little accordion mini album. Both of these fun projects have been created for us this month by the fabulous Annette Green. And she never disappoints by always adding in lots of interactive details and showing you great ways to really maximize your Graphic 45 papers and supplies. So we encourage you to grab your papers and let's start creating this super fun travel journal. Let's start creating this magical album. For step 1, we are going to be cutting out 2 pieces that are going to be 3 1/4 by 8 1/2. And we're going to cut out 1 piece that's going to be 1 1/2 by 7 1/4 of Journey of a Lifetime. And then from our Serengeti Outfitters, we're going to be cutting out 2 strips that are going to be 1 1/4 by 8 1/2. And then with your corner rounder, whatever kind of corner rounder you have, we're just going to round our corners so you can see how we have everything placed out here. So we're just going to be rounding 2 of the corners from our biggest pieces from Journey of a Lifetime. Next, you're going to take your black travel album and dispose of the packaging, and then we are going to be taking out our elastic. So we're not going to be using this elastic belly band for this project. We'll be using it later on our accordion mini album on the other project for our Club G45 Volume 7. So put that somewhere safe. And then take those cut pieces from step 1 and adhere them down. First, we're going to take our red pieces. So then we've added our front cover piece on, and now we're taking our back cover, and we're just going to go right over that hole and just cover it up. And leave equal space from the top, bottom, and edge. And then add your stripes. Step 3, we're going to do what Graphic 45ers, or some of us, love to do most, and that's doing some fussy cutting. We're going to be taking from Call of the Wild. We're going to fussy cut out this blue bird with those 2 leaves. And then from Amazing Africa, we're going to fussy cut out this postage stamp with the blue and green bird, as well as this border strip that says Adventure, Journey, and Discover in green, and this cute little tag. If you're new to Graphic 45 and fussy cutting is just taking some fine tip scissors or an X-Acto knife and cutting out an image. So we're going to be using these images kind of as embellishments. So it's a really affordable way to add extra pizzazz to your projects without having to buy a whole bunch of embellishments. So you just take your fine tip scissors and you cut along your image that you want to cut out. Step 4, from Jungle Expedition, we're going to be cutting out a 2 by 2 inch square. And since this is a cut apart page, we're specifically cutting it from this corner here. So just cut out your tiger cut apart. Then with the B side of that 2 inch square, we're going to pop out this chipboard piece that's approximately just a little bit larger than 2 inches by 2 inches. And if you want to just trim off these little chipboard nubbins, you can also take a nail file or sanding paper to file those off. And then we're going to adhere our square on top of our chipboard piece. take our scissors and trim off those corners. So now your piece should look like this. If you are inking your edges, this would be a great time to go ahead and ink that. But then we're going to take the Safari Adventure piece. I'm going to pop that out so I can use that at another time. And this will adhere right on top. Next, we're going to take this Jungle Safari sticker from our sticker sheet, and then we do want to just make sure we're getting out all those little scalloped half circles popped out. So just using a pin, or I'm using the end of a paper clip. Let's just pop all those out. So once you've got those all popped out, we can just add this to the center of our prepared chipboard piece, and then add a door knocker. So you're going to want to use some heavy duty liquid adhesive for adhering any of our Graphic 45 metal hardware onto your projects. So just kind of edging the parts that are going to be touching our chipboard piece. I can go ahead and now lay that right in the center of our dimensional element we've created. Dab off any excess liquid, and then go ahead and set this to the side to dry. Step 6, we're taking our Jungle Expedition page, and we have already cut out this square here for our chipboard piece, but now we are just going to cut out all of those cut aparts. So now that you've got your trimmer out, let's just go ahead and cut all those apart. We're either going to be using them in this travel album or on our second project. And we'll be cutting out this tag that says it's going to be wild. And you can see when it's here, I've just cut on this thin red line all the way around. So now we can start to decorate our album cover. So I'm going to take my chipboard piece that we've created, and it is dried and ready to go. And then just adding adhesive to the chipboard that is going to touch my album cover. This is going to go about 1 inch from the top in the center. Taking out this tag that we fussy cut earlier, we're going to make this into a pocket. So I'm not going to adhere the top backhand side, but I will adhere both of these sides, this corner, and the bottom. And this is going to go on our front cover in the center, about 1/4 inch from the bottom red paper. Just wiping off excess with a damp paper towel. And then our stamps, I'm just going to adhere down as well and then tuck those in, coming out on an angle inside of our pocket. Our It's Going to Be Wild will just stick into our pocket like so. Our parrot, or our bird that we've cut out, is this a parrot? Is this a macaw? I don't know exactly what it is. So I'll just say our blue bird. We're going to add some fussy cut, not fussy cut, oopsie doodles. We're going to add some foam adhesive to the back of this, so I'll add a little more dimension onto our project. Of course, if you're looking for some scrapbook adhesives, we do carry a few different varieties on our website at g45papers.com. We love these black foam adhesives. I think these are the older editions, and this is more of what they look like now. Off to the bottom and centered, and I did put an adhesive on his head that would be off the pocket, so I'm just going to take that off, put it down by his neck. There we go. So now I don't have anything obstructing my pocket, and you can see that his tail does go quite a bit off the page, so I'm just going to trim So I've just trimmed his tail off so it doesn't go off the bottom of our album cover. And now I'm just going to take some chipboard pieces and add those too, just to give it some nice balance. Fun about these tiny little chipboard pieces is that there are so many options with these. I really like how Annette often uses them to just offer a nice cohesive look. And then taking this cute little blue one, we are going to add this onto our tag. It'll help us be able to pull that out even easier when the time is right. And then we'll add our little red circle onto this tag there as a decorative piece. Step 7, we've taken this super cute little giraffe chipboard and tied 12 inches of twine into that hole, adding a little bow on top. And then now with these tails, we are going to add some little dangly charms using our graphic 45 stickers. So I'll use these red floral stickers on one and the yellow lilies on the other. And then just flip that over, add the other yellow, and then add our other red piece behind here. And before we adhere our giraffes down, we are going to adhere our green border that we cut out earlier. And it's going to be flush with the bottom and then just in the center. And I'm just going to have that go up through the top. And then now that that's adhered, we can adhere our cute little giraffe piece. Step 9, we're going to start to decorate the inside of our cover. So we're going to be creating some decorative papers that are going to go over our little pockets that come in your album. So if you want, you can create a template that you can use over and over again, and then you can mark left hand side and right hand side, or you can just cut to fit. So either way, your pieces are going to be cut to be 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then using a 1.5 inch circle punch, you're just going to halfway punch that through, giving you that nice notch. Of course, if you don't have a 1.5 inch circle punch, you can find something that will approximately measure to be similar, and then cut it out with scissors after you trace it. Or you can always use this as your template as well, and then you just want to cut 1/8 of an inch larger than what you trace. And these 2 pockets have been cut from our Call of the Wild, and we've just strategically placed our template so we could have that nice little circle right in the center. So the left-hand side is the red floral, and then our right-hand side is just flipped over. So you have your, what is this? Your rounded corner, there it is on the right, and then that will just go right there. Step 10, cut out 2 pieces that are going to be 4 by 3 inches from Call of the Wild, and then punch your half circle on each as shown. Step 11, we're taking 2 pieces of natural habitat and we're cutting that to be 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And we already have our half circles punched, but if you haven't done it already, I'd advise to punch it after you adhere your next pieces on. So you're going to take your green leaf pieces and then adhere those to the center. And once those are centered, then you can go ahead and use your hole punch, and that way you'll have a more balanced and equal hole. Step 12, from sheet 2 of Jungle Expedition, we're going to cut out 2 pieces that are going to be 4 3/8 by 6 inches. And then adhere on your pieces from this previous step in a U shape. So you've created cute little pockets. And then take your corner rounder and round the top left-hand corner on one and the top right-hand corner on the other. Step 13, tuck those pieces into your pockets and adhere, and then add your red pieces. Step 14, cut out 3 natural habitat pieces to be 3 7/8 by 2 1/4. And then we're going to cut out 1 piece of our lush landscape to be 3 7/8 by 2 inches. 2 of these we will put to the side for now. And then using the edge of your scissors, we're going to be roughing these up to distress them. So just open up your scissors and then safely go back and forth. You want to make sure you're not going to nick yourself. And then of course, if you want to distress your edges, this is a great time to do that as well. So you can distress them with some inks, some coordinating inks. And you can see I've already done that with this piece. Step 15 from Lush Landscape, we're going to cut out 2 pieces that are going to be 3 7/8 by 8 inches, and then round all 4 corners. Step 16, we're taking our 2 pieces from step 14 and adhering those on top of one another. Then take that tiger chipboard and pop out those 2 holes, and then using 10 inches of coordinating ribbon or twine, we're going to fold in half and put our loop through the front to the back, and then tuck our tail in there and pull those edges. We're going to adhere it onto one of our front cover panels, or cover panels, and this is just going to be weighted a little more heavily to the top. And then taking our tiger chipboard, adhere this to the center. And now we can flip this over, and then using some Scotch tape or washi tape, just go ahead and tape those down. And if you need to trim off any excess, you can do that as well. And then we'll do the same with the other side. So after you've taped down your tails, you can turn this over and just kind of play with these and fix them how you'd like. Grab your notebook with the blank papers and find that center and put it down, and then adhere to your covers. Step 19, we're going to cut out 2 pieces of birds of a feather to be 3 7/8 by 8 inches. And then from the B side of birds of a feather, we're going to cut out a piece that's going to be 3 7/8 by 2 inches. Then take your ruled page notebook and adhere those 2 to the front and back. Distress these 2 pieces and then adhere one onto the other. And then approximately the same spacing as our first notebook, we will weigh this heavy towards the top. And then with our bird chipboard and 2 pieces of 5-inch twine, poke out the center of our tag, and then we'll just trim off those pieces. I've adhered this just a little bit weighted, a little towards the bottom. Step 20, cut 2 pieces of creatures great and small to be 3 7/8 by 8 inches and 1 piece to be 3 7/8 by 2 inches. Then with your last notebook, the grid notebook, we're going to adhere those onto the cover. Distress and adhere those 2 layered papers. Then take that zebra chipboard and add it to your cover with a little bit of twine. Step 21, we're going to cut out 2 of each of these that are going to be 4 by 8 inches. And we're going to take from the B side of Serengeti Outfitters, 2 of those, 2 of Call of the Wild, and 2 of the B side from sheet 2 of Amazing Africa. Step 22, we're going to be creating a template for these diagonal pockets that are inside of our little notebooks. So if you want to be decorating those with decorative paper, it's really great to have a template. So first we're going to take a piece. I've already cut mine, but if you want to create your own cardboard template, cut a piece to be 3.5 inches by 6 7/8. And then you are going to want to just tuck in your cardboard as snugly as you can, and then go ahead and trace out the outline. Once you've got it traced out, you're just going to take some scissors and trim off about 1/8 of an inch. So then when you add it to your pocket, you can see here, there is a nice 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. So I traced the left hand pocket, so I put an L on this side. The great thing about the template is when you reverse it, it will be the right hand side. So it works for both the front and back cover. So using my template, I've cut out from Safari Adventure, the B side, I've cut out a left hand side as well as a right hand side. All right, so now we can add these pieces to our first notebook that we created. So just opening that up, we're going to adhere in our stripes from Serengeti, or Serengeti stripes. And that will adhere just like so, so you have a nice border all the way around. And then you'll take your left template and center that as well. And then do the same with the back. Step 24, we are going to be very strategic about how we cut out these 4 templates. So we're using exotic patterns, and we've cut this piece to be 7 inches by 12 inches. And then using our template, we are going to be cutting out 2 left-hand pieces and 2 right-hand pieces. So there's the first set, and then flipping this over, I have my second right-hand piece and my second left-hand piece. So trace those, and then go ahead and trim those out. And then take those Call of the Wild papers we cut earlier and adhere inside your pockets, both front and back. And then taking your solid animal print, your tiger stripes, we are going to adhere this on our diagonal pocket. And then do the same to the back cover. And then with our last notebook, your inside covers should look like this. Step 26, we're going to cut out 3 different pieces that are going to be 4 inches by 8 inches. And we've got the Great Migration, Natural Habitat, and Creatures Great and Small. And we want to create a distressed edge. So we are going to tear off about 1/4 of an inch from the right hand side. So I'm just using a ruler to kind of make sure I don't go too far off my paper. And if you kind of wiggle your ruler back and forth, you can kind of get a better distressing. So yeah, there you have it. That's my first 1/4 of an inch I've torn off. And you can see I've got a nice little distressed edge going on. And then if you are inking, this would be a great time to ink those edges. And then of course, as you can see, our corners are rounded on the upper and lower left-hand side. And then adhere those onto the first page of each of your notebooks. Step 28, we're going to take Great Migration and cut it to be 1 1/4 by 8 1/4. And then we're going to take our some stamps from Amazing Africa, and we're going to cut 2 stamps together, and then we're going to fold in half just right at that, right in between the 2. And then on our first notebook, we're going to skip. So we've done our first page, we're going to skip the second page, and on the third page, we're going to adhere our strip down, leaving about 1/4 of an inch from the right-hand side. And then our Jungle Safari stamp will adhere the first half of it on this side and fold the other half onto the other. And then we'll adhere the other half of the stamp onto the reverse side of that page. And then taking our sticker border stamps, we'll just adhere down about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom and then trim to fit. Step 30, on our insert 2, we flip to the 4th page, and now we have cut our cut apart to be 2 1/2 inches by 6 3/4 inch. And we have this wall tents advertisement from the Serengeti Outfitters page. And then we've adhered 2 stamps from our sticker sheet with exotic birds on there to create our own little label pulls. And you do want to note when you're adhering down your little label pulls that you're not going too far off the edge, because you want everything to still be inside of our album cover so it doesn't get ruined. Step 31, we've turned the page and we've cut out this red tag from Amazing Africa, and then we've used a handful of stickers to decorate this. So you can see we have our other square stamp sticker here, a scallop border, a circle sticker here as well. Of course, these are just suggestions of ways that you can add some color and fun into your, if you're making this a planner or a mini album. Of course, if you are making this a journal, you can always leave all of these extra embellishments and everything just to the side, so as you're journaling, you can add in all of your own personal elements onto your page, so where it makes sense to your project. In our notebook number 3, we have cut this to be 8 1/4 inches by 1 1/8 from Amazing Africa. And then we've taken 2 red bird stickers to create a little tab there. So cute. And then to turn the page, we've also, for step 33, added our animal sticker on the bottom. 34, we've taken our exotic patterns and cut those down to be border strips that are 1/2 inch by 8 1/4, and we've just adhered those on the edge of the page, and these we have just skipped 2 pages since our last decorated page. We've skipped those and put one in each of our notebooks. As you can see, we've got the leopard print here, and on this one we have the zebra print. So those are super cute. And then to create these cute little notched banner pieces from our birds of a feather, we've cut out 3 pieces that are going to be 4 inches by 1 1/2, and then we've folded those in half to create this little piece, and then we've cut out a V once they're folded in half and adhered onto each edge of the page, so you can have that cute little bookmarker on both sides, and then added a chipboard button with some twine on there. Step 35 on insert 1, this is the center of our notebook where it has the staples you can see here and here. And we've just added some stickers and some fussy cut elements. So these 2 pieces here are from the stickers, and then we fussy cut out some florals and another bird and a stamp down here. So of course you can get as layered or as detailed as you want, or you can keep it simple and just do stickers as well. Step 36, this giraffe postcard we cut out earlier in step 6. We're just going to fold that in half, and then that's going to slide in underneath our rubber band, just adding a fun little insert where you could add in photos or sentiments as well. 37, we are taking 2 borders from Amazing Africa, and we're cutting these to be 4 inches by 5/8. So we're going to put one on the top on the left hand page and one on the bottom of the right hand page. We're going to take some stickers and chipboard and do some fussy cutting to add some extra embellishments on there. For step 38, we're taking our zebra postcard that we've from step 6, and we're folding that into half, and then we're going to just slide this underneath that rubber band to create that extra fun photo spot. Step 39, we've taken some border stickers and cut those here, and then just added a few more stickers, just collaging those in the top left hand corner. And in the bottom right, we've just done a little more fussy cutting, as you can see. And then taking this elephant postcard, we're going to fold that in half, and we'll slide that under that rubber band as well. Step 40, we're going to cut out 3 different pieces to be 8 inches by 7 7/8. So we've got our Great Migration paper here, as well as Creatures Great and Small and Journey of a Lifetime. And then once you have all of those, we're going to go ahead and score these right in half at 4 inches and round those corners. And then add the chipboard pieces you see here and the twine at the top. Step 41, we're going to cut out 3 border pieces from Journey of a Lifetime. This is from our sheet 2 of Journey of a Lifetime. And these are going to be cut to be 1 1/8 by 8 1/2. And you can see how we've strategically cut them there. So then we are going to take our fold out pieces that we've created, our photo mats, and we're going to take our borders and then just center it and then fold it over the top so it snugly fits. Fold that over the top, and then you can pull that out and add adhesive just onto this panel. And then from our last pages that we worked on, we're going to skip ahead 3 or 4 pages, and then on there we're going to adhere down that belly band we've created, and then you can tuck in your little photo mat. And we'll do the same on all 3. So here's our belly band. We'll take our little tuck in and slide that in, and then do the same on our last notebook. So these are a great area where you can add a whole story, you could add a letter, a lot to work with when you're adding in those kinds of photo mats. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and now add all of your notebooks back into your journal like you see here. And you have a complete junk journaling style travel album. We hope that you've had a fun time going a little bit wild with us with this album. We look forward to seeing what you've created, and we hope that you share your creations with us on Instagram using that graphic45 hashtag, or with us on our official community page on Facebook. You can also, if you're looking for more fun tutorials like this one, or you want to follow along with our next accordion mini album tutorial with what we're going to create with the scraps, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then hit that notification bell so you know every time we upload a new video. But you can find this in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started on creating this little cutie. We hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, happy paper crafting.